Learn, enjoy, succeed. 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 Learn, enjoy, succeed.
Okay, so my two favourite assemblies, I have two. So the first one is Mrs. Robertson's evacuation assembly, and I love that so much because the whole of her family were involved. So her husband, her daughter Rosie and Oliver, and they really got into character. It was really amusing. And the other one I loved was Mrs. Donnelly interviewing Grandma Hilda. I thought that was a really interesting assembly, and I found it very, very interesting hearing about her life.
And why?
I liked your World War II assembly because of the production value. I enjoyed the effort put into it, and it was a whole family effort, so yeah, thank you.
My favourite lockdown assembly was the VE Day assembly, where Mrs. Robertson reenacted being in a bomb shelter. I thought that was really good.
My favourite assemblies were the VE Day assemblies, both Mrs. Donnelly and Mrs. Robertson's, because it was lovely to have live reenactments and live interviews with people that have lived it and go back in time to celebrate VE Day.
My favourite assembly has to be the one where all the teachers and staff did the ketchup song because it made everybody happy.
So I've got two favourite assemblies. The first one is Mrs. Robertson's VE Day one with the whole family. I found it quite moving actually. It was, it gave you a lot to discuss as well, and I think for the children as well, it was a shock to them because they weren't actually aware of what went on. And my second one is Mrs. Donnelly's, it was the VE Day one as well with Grandma.
I really loved Mrs. Robertson's Art Attack assembly because I thought that was really, really impressive what she did there. And I also really loved the dance assembly because I loved everybody's silly costumes and how loads of people got involved.
In fifth place, we have Mrs. Donnelly's only second ever lockdown assembly, which was on the 23rd of March with over 400 views.
Wash, wash, wash your hands, make them nice and clean. On the top and on the bottom, fingers in between. Oh, hi, I'm just washing my hands, getting ready for assembly. Have you washed your hands? Okay, well you need to go and do it before we start. Wait, press pause, go and wash your hands. I'll see you in a minute.
In fourth place, it is our YouTube assembly debut with our very first assembly from Mrs. Donnelly back on the 19th of March, which had over 500 views.
So welcome to all the children who are here in school sitting in front of us, and welcome to all the children who might watch this later on YouTube. Okay, so a lot of you will have heard already that the government have made a decision that was very difficult for them, but very important. The government have decided that Friday, so today's Thursday, Friday, tomorrow will be our last day at school for a little while. So as we talked about yesterday, school is going to carry on as much the same as we possibly can do, but instead of you being in school, you're going to be doing your work at home. And I just wanted to have a little chat with you about that, okay, before we send you off back to class.
In third place, it's back to the 19th of May when Mrs. Robertson did her art attack. In second place, we have a firm favourite with the Robertson family VE Day assembly.
What was it like growing up during the war?
It was exciting. It was fun at times. It was scary at other times. And to be honest with you, there were air raids and shouting and noises and games. And I didn't really know what was going on most of the time.
Choo choo, choo choo, vroom vroom, vroom vroom, choo choo, vroom vroom.
I was 5 years old in 1940. I lived at home with my mother and my sister Frances. My father was away fighting the war at the front. I remember being happy at the time because the schools were closed and I could play at home with my sister all day. But I remember it being a different experience at night time, particularly when we heard the air raid siren.
Francis, come on, wake up. It's an air raid. We've got to go to the shelter. Thomas, it's an air raid. We've got to go to the shelter. Come on. Thomas, come on, darling. It's all right. Don't be scared. It's all right. Mama's here. We've got to go down to the shelter. It's an air raid. Come on. I've got you. Good boy.
Oh, Mother, do we have to? We can just stay here. It'll be fine. They're not going to bother us.
Francis, stop complaining. I know it's a pain. We've got to go. Come on, quick.
Shelter again. It's cold.
Francis, stop complaining. The bombs are coming. Come on, quick.
Mummy, I'm sad.
The Germans were bombing London during 1940, during the Blitz, and at night time, if we heard the air raid siren, my mother would collect my sister and I, and we would go down into the air raid shelter that we had in our basement.
All right, don't worry. Down you go. Francis, coming too. Don't worry, children. Sit down on the bench. I'll get the candle. See, you did a great job. Oh, this will be better. Then we can see what's going on. There. That's better. It's okay. We're fine. We're safe now. It's all right.
But listen, they're getting closer. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3.
Before we unveil the winner, it is time to note some honourable mentions, videos which might not have got the top views but were amazing nonetheless.
Said, little Danny Foo-Foo, I don't like your attitude, picking up the field mice and smacking them on the head.
That's exciting, isn't it? It's really exciting. Okay, hello. So maybe you would like to start by, I'll introduce you, shall I? So this is great-grandma Hilda Donnelly. So
I'm going to give the house points to Mr. Morris because he didn't need any support for that and he totally got off on it all on his own. Mr. Morris, which house are you in?
I'm in Spiders.
Oh, man. So 5 house points to Spiders for Mr. Yay. Well done, Mr. Morris. Thank you all for joining me on my Zoom call today. It was really nice to chat to you all and see you all. I hope you enjoyed my little game too. And you guys have your Zoom calls with your teachers or your support staff this week. It will be someone from your year group. So it will be somebody that you know. I hope you have as much fun as we did. So should we say goodbye to everybody?
Mrs. Robertson,
Mrs.
Yes.
Robertson, can I just ask for imagination for me, Mrs. Bailey and Miss Crouch, who are different wavelength? Do we get some house points for being imaginative?
I think so. That independently, you all went on the same wavelength. I thought that was quite cool. Okay, should we get a house point, a bonus house point?
Yes.
That's good.
Yeah.
I'm not playing again.
I'm
not playing again. No.
Everybody.
This is Ramadan. Ramadan is the most special month of the year for Muslims. The 12th.
I used to bite my tongue and hold my breath, scared to rock the boat and
our results. So, as every true scientist knows, you need to look the part. So here, I have my trusty goggles and my lab coat. That's better. Now I feel more sciencey.
And now the moment you have all been waiting for, the number one top rated, highest viewing assembly that we have published during lockdown was the Teachers Do Last Ketchup.